Today I'd like to talk to you about the decision that we all have to make at some stage in our life, and that is to whether to make it or to buy it. But I'm saying there may be a hybrid of that. So, designing up the automatic tool changer, I wanted to have tool holders, and there are various types, various styles, but when you're designing it, you've got to ask yourself, A, what type you want, how versatile are they, how expensive are they, and how difficult are they to make. Now you see some people, they make tool holders out of mould steel. I looked at getting some 4140 and heat treating it. Now for a 50mm 2-inch section, it's $6 for a little bit. Once I got off the chair, I said there must be another way. So if you can imagine 40-50 cutters this long, say 100, that's 5 meters. Say 4 meters. Work out, go to your metal store and see what price just the raw material is, high tensile. Ring up your local heat treater, ask them how much to get 40 or 50 cutters hardened. Then ring up your local grinding shop and ask them how much to grind diameters, bores, threads and tapers. Then if your calculator has got enough digits on it, you'll be surprised how much it costs. So then you say, okay, that might rule out making it because it's too expensive. I don't have a grinder, I don't have a heat treatment area. I really haven't got the cutting facilities, the storage facilities to handle such big lengths of 2-inch bar. So all those things you may then decide, well, no, I won't buy. I won't make, I'll buy. I'll look at buying. So then you get in the catalogue, so that one's fantastic. $200, $400, $500 for 2 or 3 holders, quick change. Then you think, gee, I can't afford that. I was in that category. So then I looked around and Tormac has a very good system. This is a Tormac holder. So I ordered these from the States, set of side locks in the sizes they have. They only had Imperial, they didn't have metric, which is another problem. Imperial is last century, metric is this century. So I've still got a lot of tools from last century, so that's fine. But all my new holders are all metric. They have a 3/4, that's what my design is. They have it recessed, clear on there. Well, their design has a groove in it. Now I'm talking for automatic tool changes here. If there's a manual tool change, it doesn't concern you at all. But my design was to have thin sheet like the Tormac one, and it fits in. So then when the tool platen comes around, swings around, goes up, and the platen withdraws. Then with unloading, platen comes around, the right spot is selected, the head goes up and it drops out. Reasons for that are you then can have some locks, so when you're spinning your platen around, these are not flying out. Also, the groove keeps it central, stops it from twisting. But the cost of those and the fact they didn't have the ones I wanted ruled them out. So I've got about 5 of those. Then I managed to find on eBay a supplier who actually makes a similar type, and I've been going backwards and forwards with him for about 2 years, and his type does not have the groove. So it can only be located on that diameter, and it may be free to go up and down and sit cockeyed. So the slot was a better idea, but these were a lot cheaper. For 10, he only sells me in sets of 10, was about 25, so 250, around about there. I think they depends on where the Aussie dollar is. They can be, say, from 300 to 250, but they send it DHL, so you get it in 3-4 days. You pay $100 odd in that price for it. I don't mind waiting for the ship, but he doesn't have that option. So I brought 10 of those. They don't come with a collet. So yeah, you say, okay, I have 1/4 and 3/8 and 1/2 inch. The cutter sizes. So you then go up to order your collets. And you go, oh, wait a minute, one collet for an extra $5, I can get a set. So you end up buying a set, and you'll take out either the metric ones you want or the imperial ones you want. And there might be 4 in a set or 5 in a set that you can use. So you have to buy 2 sets to cover your 10 collets. Okay, that's fine. The other ones you can use for your drills, that type of thing. They're perfect for your drills. But then the cost of your collet, instead of saying being between $20 and $25 each, actual collet's $10, so it's now $30 to $40. Multiply that by 50, you start to see. So then I said, right, I chased up the same guy, and even though he doesn't advertise it, he does have side lock, and they had to make them up for me, and so I ordered metric and imperial. Most of what you saw in the previous video and on the drawer, that's what they are. And I've got them all for my tools. So if I've got 2mm, 3mm, 4mm, 5mm, 6mm, 7mm, 8mm, 9mm, 10mm radius cutter, I've got a holder for it. And you may say, why? The idea of having a CNC machine is to save time. A lot of people build the machine, but they waste most of their time putting the tools in, then going back, setting them up. This type, even if you're not going to use the automatic tool changer, you measure the height pre-recorded, it's in there, and you just have to put the tool in and you're done. It knows it. So I went for the side locks. Now, as you can see, there's a difference. I prefer a collet myself because you can adjust the overhang of the tool, and most of these side locks are very close to the face of the holder, which means when you're going to mill you can hit clamps, other parts of the job as well. So I may have to end up grinding that shape down. So right, so you say, okay, I bought them, but they're not what I want. And some of the larger tools, I've got a 3/4. He had them in ER32s, but he's starting to save costs. As you can see, the amount of grinding on them has been reduced as China goes through a bit of recession. They're cutting costs as well. So for the larger tools, these will be hand tool changers. So I don't have to worry about fitting this into the platen or grooves, because you can't put grooves in because the taper on the inside is too close. So for some jobs, which is normally, say, the roughing cutters, these will be in there. Distances will already be measured, so it's then just a matter of fitting them in and we're away. Manual tool change for these particular ones, then switch to automatic tool changes for the other two. I didn't make, and I sort of bought, but this is where the hybrid comes in. The best quality ones are Tomac, you pay for it. However, Main difference you can see here is a chamfer. They don't come with much of a chamfer. This one does, you say. That's because I've had to grind that chamfer in by hand. Well, sorry, not by hand. On the machine, I rough it out to get it down by hand, and then I just put on a tool and cutter and clean it up. It's not the same as the Tormac one, but the trouble with these flat ones is that the depth of the collet does not allow the straight, where's the straight one? To go up flush. The collet has already had a few millimetre cut off it, but theirs goes straight up. Notice, goes straight up to the face of the spindle. That one does not. There's a gap. When it's pulled up, yes, it will then pull the holder up. However, they're sitting on the platen. You've set out your height to come down so far in the Z to be level. There's already a different height. So on the platen, I will have 10 tools for one particular type, 10 tools. So the platen will have to be modified, a hybrid, to suit the tools. I have to then modify it. So this is where the hybrid comes in. You may not be able to buy exactly what you want, but you can modify it. The bottom face is not ground, but they are consistent. Diameters are different. So you adapt what you wanted to what you've got, and then make them suit. But you need the equipment. If you haven't got a tool and cutter grinder, if you haven't got this, you haven't got that, well, you may have to spend the extra money and go for the Tormac. And then you may only buy 10 and keep changing it. So side lock are the way to go for end mills, for the tools. Get your sets of them. Have no worries. But also get perhaps 10 of the collet types and buy sets, because even if you buy 5 collets, I end up after buying some 3/4 collets for the R32, and they're about $10 to $15 each, and buying 10 I could get the set, but I only wanted those, so I bit the bullet and said no, I'm not going to use it for any drills, that sort of thing. I've got sets of ER32 already. I've got ER16, ER20, and I think ER25. So I've got enough collets. That's what the drawers are for. So if you're going to do CNC machining, think about making, buying, or a hybrid. I recommend all 3. And as usual, thanks for watching.